tap into luxury. I was asking Veronica here. I'm going to ask all of you. Excuse me, not COVID. Tap into luxury. What would you like to get out of this session?
Start talking to more luxury clients. Just, I guess, my foot in the door, I guess.
Okay. Okay, so like Nahid, for example, tap into luxury. What comes to mind? What would you like to get out of this session?
Learning how to, I guess, be exposed to that community and, networking, making contacts, and to actually have some credibility when approaching these people, whether they're buyer or sellers.
Okay.
Knowing what expectations luxury buyer or luxury sellers want out of their listings.
Okay. What else?
Expectations of luxury sellers.
What they expect from the agent, right?
Yes.
All right. Fair. Cool. So it kind of aligns with what I had in mind, similar. So let's dive in. Let's see what we learn together. So let's talk about the word luxury. What comes to mind when you hear luxury? Luxury.
High-end.
High-end. Cocktail.
Huge.
Upscale.
Yeah.
Upscale.
Or cocktail.
Champagne. Sorry, I just went to close the door. The word luxury, I think, means a lot of different things to different people. And so that's the reason I asked. And I don't know. It's a word that is thrown out there. And like I have a luxury listing. So let's talk about listing. Luxury listing. What comes to mind? Like a big mansion, a fancy penthouse condo by the water. I don't know. It's different, right?
I think it would depend on the person that's purchasing or selling. Like it's their perspective, not ours.
And I think it's safe to say that price tag kind of plays a part into this, but $1 million house in little town in Texas could be a huge property with acres and acres of land. And in that market, that could be luxury. $1 million here in Southern California, that's like entry. That's no luxury.
Sadly.
Right? So just be mindful of these differences whenever we use the word luxury. So, I mean, I like starting with definition, right? This is from the dictionary, I guess. Extravagant living, great comfort, opulence, sumptuousness. Can't even pronounce that word. Richness, costliness, the grandeur, grandness. I know a lot of the champagne that are really good are Grand Cru, are labeled Grand Cru. So grand. Every time I wish a happy, prosperous new year, I wish for a grand new year. Great, grand. I like the word grand, like grand piano. Affluence, wealth, prosperity. The opposite will be poverty. Okay, so
what does the Riley mean?
Sorry.
Anybody know what the life Riley?
You're breaking up.
Can you not hear me?
Breaking up. Maybe type in the chat box. Let me see here. So what does life of Riley mean? I can hear you fine. Sorry. Okay. Life of Riley. I guess there was a Riley in the history of mankind that lived really well. Who knows? But so yeah, it's just wealth in general. So like look at this living room or dining family room, whatever this you might call. Some people might say gaudy but in general, the lifestyle of the rich and famous. Fast cars, fancy outfits, little stone statues at the front of the entryway. The allure is there. It's undeniable. And for us, real estate agents, the chance to eat a slice of the luxury pie when we sell a $5 million listing at 2.5% commission, $125,000 commission check in one transaction. That'll be a nice day. Agree? $5 million deal, $125,000 check. Okay. It's a stupid question. Who would love to have a $5 million listing right now? Yeah. Everybody? Okay. Who here knows what it takes to market a $5 million listing? Maybe we have some idea. How about who here knows someone that owns a $5 million house or hangs out regularly or travel with these people or dine out with these people or go to the same country club with these people? Or are you invited to their kids' birthday parties? Are you in the inner circle of these the affluent crowd? Years ago, there was a session about a Beverly Hills agent talking about marketing to the wealthy. And this is where I got the idea. And this is exactly the questions that he asked. He asked a room full of agents, who here would love a $5 million listing? I was like, everybody raised their hand. It's like, how many of you are actually ready to market a $5 million listing? And how many of you know someone? And only a very few people out of the hundreds in the room. And I quickly realized, man, how do I hang out with these people? Who are they? So we got to locate them, become friends with them, earn their trust, and really be in that inner circle. Not only for their listing, they are surrounded by people that are similar to their lifestyle. And so when you earn their trust, anytime they know someone that needs a realtor, your name should pop up. Okay. So if we're able to achieve that, do you think that will be a good payday? Right? Okay. So let's talk about how the mindset is different. This is just in general. Okay. So if you watch a lot of TV, it's not meant to offend anyone. Okay. We are who we are. I'm just highlighting the differences between the rich and the poor. So rich people usually read more books and watch less TV. So if you're a couch potato, I suggest you stop doing that. Rich people talk about getting paid based on results, not by the hour. And so it's now like punching a time card. And for our line of work, we get paid only when a property closes escrow, and that's result. So that's what we get paid, how we get paid. And yet, oftentimes we run around talk about, oh, my hourly rate is like $250 an hour, and people put a price tag on their hourly rate. I suggest we stop doing that. I get paid for results that I produce. Rich people own their challenges. They have difficulties and they say, okay, what can I do to make this better? Instead of blaming others. They focus on investing versus saving money. Investment and the income from the investment is typically the disposable income that they have. Rich people continuously, constantly, nonstop learn. They're always learning something new. But the know-it-alls, we all have a friend that knows everything, right? Or are we that friend? And then poor people believe money is the root of all evils. You know those sayings that we've been taught ever since little? Money doesn't grow on trees. What else is there? Money can't. Complete the sentence. Unmute yourself. I need to hear this.
Buy happiness.
Money can't buy happiness. What else is there? Money is the root of all evils. Money doesn't grow on trees. All of those things, right? Partially, I think they are true, but I think they were invented by just people that don't have money. Money can buy happiness. I mean, gosh, you don't know where to shop. Okay. I think it can give me a lot of happiness. Money doesn't grow on trees. Oh my God. I know people that own Apple stocks, Amazon, real estate properties, and it's like money, envelope money. Money just grows. So these are some of the things that we have to be aware that we've been programmed for so long. And we have to stop like with these, beliefs that money is bad. No, you deserve money. Let's talk about, the language, the words that we use. Have you heard of these words? You've seen these words, right? Motivation, try. These are the words and phrases that I'd like you to delete from your brain, delete from your vocabulary. Something very as little as motivation. For example, motivation, the word comes from motive. Motive is derived from to move, movement. You're motivated when you have a reason to move. That is moving for a purpose. Now, if you keep needing motivation, it's because you have no purpose in life. Okay. And so every time I hear someone say, I need motivation, oh, that's so motivating. I see successful people, they don't need motivation. They just keep going. They are moving already. How many of you know Gary V? Gary V is a popular speaker, business person. So Gary V was in the clubhouse talking to a bunch of people. And this kid comes in and say, hey, Gary, good to have you here. I'm so excited, blah, blah, blah. I'm an entrepreneur. And do you have any words of motivation for me? And Gary V says, look, kid, if you need motivation, don't call yourself an entrepreneur. So when you're talking to the wealthy and you keep using these words like try, oh, motivation, okay, the human being is really funny. And when was the last, okay, let's say, Michelle,
Yes.
what are you doing this Friday? Come over for dinner. We're going to have a bunch of friends. It's blah, blah, blah. Can you make it? And then, Michelle, do you say yes, no, or I'll try to be there?
I say yes.
Right? But you hear oftentimes, I'll try to be there. It's like, what is this? Try, are you going to be there or not? So I'll try to make it. The try, it's such a loser vocabulary word.
Yeah, it's either yes or no for like
Yeah.
if you can make it, go. If you can't, don't. But yeah, this I'll try, or maybe it makes yourself look very
Undecided.
yeah.
And so the other person, when they hear you say, I'll try, oftentimes, very often, what they're going to start thinking of you is this person can't make a decision. What a loser. I don't want to hang out with these.
Like,
Like, you are right. Oftentimes we say this during conversation. When I say you're right, immediately you're going to start thinking I'm wrong. You know, instead say I agree. So we're on the same page. I agree. Oh my God, I agree. Totally. And then you're like in the same team. But when you start saying, you're right, you're absolutely right, um, then I put myself in the wrong. How about words like I wish, I wish, blah, blah. I wish it'll be, or like when I tell people, oh, tonight I was invited to dinner and they're gonna have Wagyu New York steak. And then I hear, man, it must be nice. It must be nice. You've heard those must be nice. Okay, stop saying that if you ever do, because people, the subconscious mind of anyone just registers every time you say these words, and they start registering you into a category of people in their mind of weak people. We can't give off that sensation. There are many more other words that you have to avoid and you want to add to your vocabulary. So I don't know who said it. Gosh, I forget his name. My God, Vanessa, are you sending pictures or something here? Yeah, grows on trees. So Jim Rohn, he said, change your thinking, change your world. Although I may not have this big of a house and this little fancy car and all of this, I could still be in the mindset of someone that does and think in a abundant way of living. And to do that, you don't really have to be the rich or the famous. I know a lot of people that are wealthy, but they don't live an abundant life. They're always in the scarcity mindset. So in real estate, we call, man, stop it. They can smell your commission breath. Have you heard the term commission breath? Like you're desperate, you will do anything to get the deal. That's commission breath. That's like being, clingy, needy, desperate. Nobody wants to deal with that kind of persona. So once you become the top luxury agent that you are in your mind, by being mindful of, the different words that to get rid of, or keeping track of how the wealthy think. Okay. I think the quicker we're able to connect with the wealthy. That's the reason I'm sharing these to begin with. Okay. So obviously, as you said, here's where the money is. Who are these people? Network with the type of clientele that you want to attract. So think of the circle of friends that you have, or the sphere of influence, or past clients that you are somewhat close to. Think about that, and then like, how wealthy are they? Not in terms of, I don't know if I'll ever find out what the net worth of every individual I know is, but I know their buying power for sure, because I know what they have and what they enjoy. And what I noticed is, gosh, Tori Gilbert. She's one of our agents here in the market center. She has a $4.2 million listing in Manhattan Beach. It's in escrow. Hopefully it's going well. She was telling me about her client, the owners. They're very wealthy. They fly private jets, you know, things like that. And it's a really small, tight circle of people that they hang out with. So you have to understand the wealthy crowd is very private in everything they do. You know why? Because they have a lot to lose. If you're a beach bum, like a bum homeless here, you have nothing to lose. They don't care. So these people are really protective and shy about allowing any new friends in their circle. So that's an uphill battle already. Network with private lenders and bankers. Typically, these are the people, or money managers. Do you know a money manager? Asset manager? The people that deal with wealthy people. Maybe they're able to connect you with some new people. But not just when they want to buy or sell and invest in real estate. If you're in the, if you're on this in this banker's speed dial, and let's say I go golfing with this guy oftentimes, I think we're close enough that he'll invite me every now and then to the different functions that he has with his wealthy clients. So I'll be introduced organically to his circle of clients. That's one way. Marketing pieces that we put out on the internet. Attention to detail is everything. Of course, everything have to look impeccable and fancy, but every little detail matters. Misspelling is an easy one, and yet so many people still don't proofread anything. Be the expert at different things that the rich enjoy. You don't have to be the expert in anything. So here are two examples. I really enjoy wine, champagne, wine, and I know a thing or two about wine, but I'm not by no means any sommelier type knowledgeable wine drinker. But I know how to properly open a bottle of wine. I know how to properly open a bottle of champagne. I know how to hold a wine glass. I know how to at least here's the thing. It's very simple. You hold a glass of wine, okay? You pour just the right amount. You can't over pour. You have to pour the right amount. Swirl it for a little bit. Then you smell it, the nose. Take a sip, and then you go, you know, do all that thing that the wine people do. Now, I have no idea what I'm tasting, okay? But I'm going through the motion, at least, okay? And then my clients tell me, wow, how do you like it? I was like, I'll be honest, I never had anything like this. I didn't say it was great. I didn't say, oh, the notes of berries and the vanilla are just blah, 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 stunning. And I don't have to go there, but I know the basics so that I don't look like a retard. Okay. What if I had no knowledge in wine? That's fine too. In the event that is the case, in networking wine tasting event, let's say, they pour a glass of wine and you just drink. You don't say anything. Don't look pretentious. Don't make comments. It's like, oh my God, this is so amazing. Oh, I love Cabernet Sauvignon. Make comments where you have no idea what you're talking about because they can sense it. So if you know something, really study. Study. Make yourself a little better at this. You need skill. I think the wealthy are really turned on by people with skill and expertise and passion, but not superficial passion. Oh, I'm passionate about champagne. Like, I don't know. I just drink champagne. What do you got? Unless you're a champagne producer, it doesn't really matter. let's say I'm doing a tour through the house and this guy wants to sell the house. And in the garage, I see some golf clubs. And I say, oh my God, I love golfing. Are you a golfer? That's a typical way of people um, to strike a conversation and to build rapport, right? But let's say I don't golf. Actually, I golf. So I would ask golf questions in a different way because I'm a golfer. But let's say I see fishing rods. I know nothing about fishing. So my usual comment is something like, wow, it seems like you have an expensive hobby. This is a lot of fishing rods. It's like, oh yeah. It's like, hey, I know nothing about fishing. I've always wanted to go fishing, but I never had the courage. But I'll tell you, I love eating fish. So next time you catch something, can I have some? It's not like I don't need to, a lot of people to build rapport, they always come off as someone that wants to one up you. Have you noticed that? They will always want to one up you. Let's say I see Michelle's background, the Golden Gate. Okay. They always have to say, oh my God, I love San Francisco. I've been there. It's like, Michelle doesn't care if I've been there or not. Why can't you just say, wow, that's a beautiful background and be done with it? So smart people, intelligent people can smell through the bullshit that you want to give. So you got to stop that. Know the product. The product, like homes, for example. The latest in smart homes is an example that I thought. There was a new construction home being built in Palos Verdes. I used to live in Palos Verdes. I rode my bicycle every morning in Palos Verdes, up and down the hill. And I would always see this property in construction. And this one day, I saw a crew having their lunch break. And I stopped and I peeked in and was like, man, this is coming along nice, beautifully. Are you guys almost done? He's like, yeah, the house is almost done. We're here just to do the what did he call? Audio, video, electrical surveillance, smart home alarm system. So this crew are the ones responsible for installing all that, fancy stuff. Like, yeah, this is a $500,000 project for us. The guy is spending $500,000 for the audio, video, whatever. And I said, $500,000 in what? He's like, oh, check this out. It's a long hallway entry into the house. It says, follow me. Okay, so there are just few lights that are on. And as you are walking in, there are new lights lighting up on the floor as if it was like the fashion runway. Okay. Little stuff like that. The entire house is remote controlled on an iPhone. I could be traveling in Australia, and if you call me and say, hey, Ho, can you open the garage for me? I can open the garage. That kind of stuff. So be aware. Yeah.
I think that that's a great idea. One thing that I agree with what you're saying. One thing I've noticed about higher end clients is they really appreciate green homes and they really appreciate smart homes. So maybe I think that would be great and beneficial to everybody in our office. We could have somebody who's a green home specialist come and do a Zoom call and teach us all about green homes because it just keeps changing and growing, and also have a smart home specialist come because that definitely raises us above the rest if we do know all that stuff and I can talk to my neighbors and say, yeah, the latest in this and the latest in this. That's a great idea, Ho. I think that would be great for us, I think.
So imagine, Michelle, if you're able to have this conversation naturally, nonchalantly, with a buyer or seller or anyone that you're networking with, it'll put you in a different category of agent.
Absolutely. I think that would be so beneficial, I think, to all of us because it just keeps changing all the time.
Right. I mean, I go to my client's house. I don't know there's so many light switches. All I say is, Alexa, kitchen light on.
Yes.
Alexa, play Bon Jovi on Spotify. It's crazy. So, knowledge in that kind of stuff, expertise, it puts you in a higher value category. And I talk about value because please be mindful. We might have all been created equal, but we all turn out different and we have different value to different people. We have friends that we like, we have friends that we don't quite care for. Why? The ones we like have higher value to us. It's undeniable. You can't say all my friends, I love all my friends equally. Even when you're kids, even for your kids, like you probably have a favorite one at the time. You just can't say it. Okay. Are we being that high value person in that circle of people? Constantly think of that. And this has nothing to do with real estate. It's just being a nice person in society. Okay. How about building trust with your clientele? They have to trust you. Can you imagine these people that are so wealthy? They're probably surrounded by a lot of different people. They know a lot of people. They're connected. So they probably already know a real estate agent. Probably they bought the house with an agent. Okay. And they're going to do business with people they like and they trust. And so I'm always thinking, how do I earn the trust? Well, Michael, you remind me of something. Michael was telling me the other day that somebody knew somebody that was a realtor, or I think it was Michael, that his friend wanted to buy a house and he didn't contact the friend realtor. And then I said, look, just because we're friends and you know that I'm a realtor, it doesn't mean automatically they should call you. I have to earn the right to be a realtor. You know, how pompous of us to think that, you know, all of my friends should call me if they need a realtor, like they owed me something. They don't owe me anything. I have to earn it. And so here you have to really earn the trust of everyone you meet. Okay. Being well-rounded, culture, educated, travel. I mean, within our possible, like, you know, within our means, but skill is something that you could learn and practice and get better. And it doesn't cost much money. It's just that I need you to realize, okay, if learning more about green homes is going to enhance my saleability, and if that really adds value to me being an agent, I'm going to learn it as if my life depended on it. Also, another knowledge, more knowledge on anything to do with a lot of money. So legacy planning, asset preservation, legal tax avoidance. If there's one thing rich people hate doing is paying taxes. Okay, so you have to understand how they think. So basically, as you guys were initially saying, how do we connect with these people? How do we earn their trust? And all of that stuff is we have to understand how they think, what they like, what they do, so that we can kind of infiltrate and earn their business. I mean, this sounds so horrible. Like, this is what scam artists do. Okay. They locate the victim, the target, study the target, study everything, weaknesses, strength. You learn the skill in whatever field that is. And then you go and earn their trust and influence them to doing things that you want them to do. That's what we're here for. Hi, Emily, welcome.
Hi.
So I have 3 years ago, maybe 2, 3, 4 years ago, I was introduced to nice, good wines. My brother always drink nice Italian wines. My other friend drinks like Napa Valley only. And so I started enjoying the different variety of wines. And I found myself at a place in Redondo Beach, right by the Riviera Village, called Friends of the Vine. Friends of the Vine is a wine bar. So I found myself at a wine bar very regularly, almost daily, and especially when my real estate office was located half a block, walking distance to the wine bar. 5 o'clock on the dot, when they open, I would go to the wine bar. Fred is the owner. Hi, Fred. Good to see you. Can I get a little glass of Sauvignon Blanc? Okay. Hey, guys, nice to see you. Cheers to everybody. And I go so regularly that the regulars there became my friends. And then this is 5 o'clock. So maybe an hour into it, have some chit chat conversation with the people. And then I'll pay the tab and I'll disappear. And people are like, leaving so soon? I was like, yeah, I got dinner plans. I'll be back after dinner. So I go give me a burger because I got to eat, right? Get a cheap dinner, do some more work, and then get back to the wine bar at about 9 o'clock. Now at 9 o'clock is a different crowd. So I'll get to chat, chit chat, meet. So all in all, throughout the years, I met a lot of interesting people. I've gotten referrals from these people. But one couple in particular, this one couple, I've seen them several times coming into Friends of the Vine at like 8, 9 p.m., bringing their travel luggages, the check-in bags, the not the big luggages, just, overnighter type of bags. And Fred will always introduce me and, make comment. Hey, Ho, have you met Steve and Liz? They love traveling. It's like, yeah, I can see that. I think I've seen them with their bags. It's like, oh yeah, we're on our way to the LAX. Our flight is at midnight or something. So we thought, we could have some champagne before we go. So they come in for drinks and then they take Uber to LAX and they off they go. And it turns out they travel at least once a month to different countries on a Thursday night, and they come back on Sunday. Not even a week, just a few days. They travel like that because they love dining at the top restaurants. Seems like there's a top 50 list of restaurants. So now I know they enjoy champagne, they enjoy wine, and they enjoy dining in these fancy places, Michelin star places. So every time we meet at the wine bar, I'm like, now if you have that kind of lifestyle, I think they have spending money, buying power, so they have money. I had no idea where they lived. And so I became good friends with the husband. And one day the husband is telling me, hey, Liz is thinking of buying a house in Redondo Beach. You should give her a call. I'm like, okay. And the wife says, yeah, I'm thinking Golden Hills in Redondo Beach. That's part of it's like an entry price range kind of Redondo Beach area. At the time, it was about $1 million. And she told me, yeah, $1 million cash. That's my max, Redondo. I'm like, are you sure you want Redondo, like Golden Hills? Golden Hills sucks. And he says, why? Like, okay, look, let's go see some houses. I show her a few houses and I point out everything I don't like about Golden Hills. The reason I was doing that is I know that if they buy this house today and then 5 years later or whenever later they want to sell this, if the market is not hot, I'll have difficult time selling that property. Very little street parking, tall and skinny, no backyard. It was just $1 million for that. And I said, yeah, see. And she's like, you're right. Oh my God. Okay, never mind. And then I took her I said, hey, Liz, there's some other properties that I'm going to go tour today. There's some new listings along the beach. You want to come along? It's like, sure, because who doesn't like looking at different houses? I show her a brand new house in Manhattan Beach, and that was $4.5 million. And she sees the house like, oh my God, this is what I'm talking about. I'm like, she's like, how much is this? It's like 4.5 million. He's like, that's too much. And I said, well, Hermosa is a little cheaper. Hermosa Beach is She's like, what's in Hermosa? And then she starts looking Redfin and she finds a brand new house in Hermosa Beach, nicer than the one that we saw in Manhattan Beach, listed at $3.2 million. I showed the property. She likes it. And then it's like 3.2 million. Can I offer 2.8? And she now wants to write an offer at $2.8 million cash. I said, I knew it. I knew she had money. So she buys it. She also hires me later to sell her mom's house. She introduces me to a lot of people in her circle of friends. I have 2 potential listings still working on because they're not ready to sell. And I guess whatever I did, because of our commonality of eating good food and drinking good wine, they always invite me over for dinner. And every time they go out to dinner with friends, because they enjoy my company, I'm invited to meet their new friends. So this is an example of how I was able to tap into that particular circle of friends, of millionaires. Okay. When I moved to this office, Kilonium Silicon Beach, Steve and Liz came over to congratulate. Oh my God, I want to come see your new office. They come here and they bring a bottle of Dom Perignon champagne. It's like $150. They drink like that was nothing. And then the other day, they gave me 2 bottles of Krug champagne. It's like $250 bottle. I mean, I'm not broke, but I'm not swimming in money like that. And so I don't usually buy those, but I know people that do. And I think I've earned their trust and their friendship to the point that I am part of that circle of friends. So be very purposeful, analyze your database. And there will be people on that database that has a lot of money. And through this mental exercise that we did today, I'd like you to think a little more purposefully in locating these people. And if you don't have any, oh my God, you should change your circle of friends ASAP or add new people, do something about it. I mean, if you want to benefit from this. That's my suggestion. That's my take. Who do you know that has a lot of money? Any thoughts? Any comments?
Oh, I have a question.
Yeah.
Sorry, I missed the earlier. I was in the other training.
Mhm.
So, of course, like you were going to the bar and eating good food, that of course still, cost money.
Mhm.
And, how much is a portion or percentage of what we have, we should use this to invest in, being a circle of the people has way more money than
Yeah. So as I was saying, I would go, not that I'm faking it, but there's a smarter way of going about this. I don't spend much money in marketing for mailers and postcards because they start adding up. And if you have a farm, and I'm not saying farming doesn't work, farming works great if you're actually consistent. For a typical farming idea, if you have a farm of 1,000 homes, and you want to send a piece per month, 1,000 homes, even if it's 50 cents per address, It's $500 a month. Okay, it's $500 a month marketing budget, and you have to do this every month. It's a lot of money. So I never did that. So I don't benefit from the farming. I have realtor friends that do, and they benefit from the farming efforts. They have consistent listings. So instead of spending money there, I spend money in the dining and whining, whining and dining. And it's really up to your level of comfort. It's just different. And then depending on the group of people you're hanging out with, for some, it may seem like, well, fine dining. Fine dining. What's fine dining for you? It's different for everyone. Okay. For some people, fine dining could be a nice dinner at Olive Gardens. Okay. For some, it might be Mastros, the steakhouse, or Boa. Those fancy steakhouses in LA. Okay. For some, it might be Michelin star, or some omakase like sushi kind of menu, or kaiseki menu, tasting menu. Tasting menus, that's when you start going bougie. My friends, so yeah, the same friends, they booked a dinner somewhere down in Del Mar, San Diego area. Name of the restaurant is Addison. Great menu. Oh my God, tasting menu is amazing. $400 a person for food only. And then the wine, it was on average $200-$300 to $1,000 a bottle. We were 6 of us. So we had at least 6 bottles of wine. That's a lot of money. Okay. Now, how often can I do this? Not often, but I can do it every now and then. And so you have to strategize on where, and they've gone back to their restaurant like monthly, once a month at least. Okay. I went there only once. And they tell me, hey, we're going, in 2 weeks. You want to go? Say, in 2 weeks? Nah. I got stuff to do. Take photos. So I don't go. Just be smart about it. It's your budget. You got to allocate your budget. So there's not a real like formula to any of this. It makes sense, right? Like, yeah, that's what I suggest. Any other comments?
Oh, I have a quick question. If we do enter the realm of like a luxury agent, is there a certain criteria that I have to meet in order for me to carry like the KW luxury?
Yes.
And how does that work?
So I looked into it just because, not that I wanted the luxury designation, because I think it's there. But there's a lot of high-end agents that have access to high-end clientele that are part of that luxury designation group. That's the only reason I wanted to get in there. So from what I remember, you had to have sold, I don't know, 3-4 luxury properties in the last 12 months. And the word luxury, what's deemed luxury is the price in your market. If your average home entry level in Playa Vista is $1 million, in order for a property to be considered luxury, I think you'd have to be a percentage higher than that average price. So if you sold like 2, 3, 4, $2.5 million properties, I think you would qualify. So I don't remember what these numbers are. So they want to see that you've sold something in that market, the luxury market, in your area. Obviously, in Texas, $1 million home, it would be luxury. Okay, that's like the high end in that market. Hanging around and being really close friends with luxury agents is also a benefit, especially if they're out of state or out of your immediate area. Let's say a good agent that does a lot of luxury, and he's in Carmel, San Francisco area. So if I sold a property and my clients are moving down to Southern California, and I know you, Veronica, from previous, contacts or whatever, and I trust that you are high end as well, then I'm going to send, hey, Veronica, you remember me? I'm in San Francisco. My client just sold his house. He's moving to your neck of woods. Help him find the house. And boom, they buy a $6 million house, cash. So yeah, there's the luxury designation. But I don't know. Everything matters, not equally, but everything matters. But don't be focused too much on what should I do? What should I do? Does this work better than that? Does this work better than this? Here's what you should do: network and with people. Be an expert at something. When I ask, okay, I'm going to ask you guys, do you guys have a hobby? What are you expert in? Okay. And don't tell me like, oh, I love food. I'm a foodie. Everybody loves eating. That's not being an expert. Now, if you tell me you know how to cook and you're a chef and your specialty in pasta, fresh pasta, dude, that's admirable. But just don't tell me you're like passionate about like watching movies. Any brain dead moron can watch movies and be passionate about it. So these people with a lot of wealth, they have appreciation for people that have gone the extra mile to have a skill set. Okay. I think that's where it really starts. Making yourself look more presentable at every time. I don't have to be dressed in, fancy clothes, just clean. Shaving. Some people have the natural, facial hair. I don't. So every little bit and then it looks like a drunken homeless guy. So I have to shave all the time. So I know what I have to do to look clean and presentable. And so I do. I'm just wearing t-shirts. Okay. I have the simple outfit, but as a guy, I know I can get away with it by just wearing a nice watch. Okay. For women, maybe a nice purse does the job. I don't know. And be real. People are watching you and they're judging by the way you carry yourself and the way you appear. So be mindful of that kind of stuff. And as a grown man, I'm like, there are things that separates men from the boys kind of thing. And usually it's the expensiveness of their toys. So like a watch is a common thing for guys. Guys are usually into watches. And there are many different watches that are not that expensive, but look like $1 million. Watch carefully. Go to YouTube and look up A-Lux. A-Lux. I think it's A-Lux. Welcome to A-Lux, where future billionaires come to get inspiration. And this is how they talk. Today, we'll talk about 10 things that rich people do that poor people don't.
Oh my.
Things like that. And a lot of it is just for entertainment. And a lot of it is very controversial. But for the most part, I think it's spot on accurate. Okay. And one of them is like, are you a big sports fan? Unless you own the sports team franchise, why are you spending so much time and effort and energy watching and following these sports athletes and teams where they don't send you they don't even know you exist? Okay. So these are just examples. I mean, I love watching a good baseball game. I used to be a Dodgers fan. I used to be a Lakers fan. Not anymore. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar never took me out to lunch. He doesn't even know I exist. So what do I care? and then watching the Oscars and being in love with the actors and actresses. What for? Be in love with something tangible that you have control over. So mindset, I think, is where it's at, really. Once you fix this and you start thinking you are the one, you will attract the clientele that you deserve. You get what you deserve, basically. Sorry. I get what I deserve. Seriously. Any other comments, questions? A lot to think about. Don't think, just do it. Cool deal. So, as usual, I'm here for anything you guys need. I'm here for any brainstorming. You need new ideas for anything, feel free to reach out. I make money when you guys make money. So I'm helping you guys not because I'm nice, it's because I make money when you make money.
Good deal.
So yeah, contact me. Today's Tuesday. Let's go get some tacos. Oh no, there's no millionaires eating tacos. Maybe there are. How do you know?
There are.
See, it doesn't necessarily have to be the bougie high-end places. As a matter of fact, if you go to typical Mastros or like, you know, those LA bougie fancy places where all the Lamborghinis pull up, I really wonder how much the percentage of the people in there dining at a particular evening are really the wealthy. You know, they're probably putting on credit card, eating $150 tomahawk steak. They come there for birthday parties. Anyways, I just refuse to go to these places. It's just like, I feel dirty. I'd rather go to Lowry's. Prime rib, Lowry's. Yeah. All right, enjoy your tacos. Get some champagne. See you guys later.
I think so.
Oh, can
Hope you
I
learned
ask-
something new.
oh, can I ask some question? Like,
Yes, ask.
So I don't know if anyone interested. So, you know, I'm so new, I'm so lost, and I just like I feel there's so many things I need to do, I should do.
Okay.
And also like a lot of people like talking about calling the expires in
Mhm.
and then prospective and all that. And I just don't know how to manage my time. Like I do have some pretty wealthy friend, and I feel like I maybe should spend some of my time just like hanging out or chatting with them. But then I feel guilty because I feel like maybe I should be doing farming or door knocking or like I don't know.
Emily,
Help me.
Emily, you should be doing something. Just
Okay.
pick something and just do it. We all have the same 24 hours a day.
Right.
You can't possibly do everything. I mean, eventually, maybe you'll be skilled and, you have and you're able to do everything together, all together. I really doubt that'll happen because later you might give the impression that you're able to handle everything only because you're doing it with grace. What we see is the tip of the iceberg. No successful agent here in our office, even our top agent, have their shit together. They are running around like their hair's on fire. The only difference is they don't show that. They're like the swan, like that graceful gliding, and underneath the water, it's okay. So I am glad to hear that you feel like like everything is going crazy and falling apart, or like so much to do. Welcome that sensation, because that should not change ever.
Okay.
The moment it changes is because now you got bored and you should look into another line of work.
Mhm.
Make sense?
Yeah.
So it's okay to feel like it's out of control. Oh my God. I think it was that F1 race car driver. It's like, if everything feels like it's under control, you're not going fast enough. And we're doing this to win a race.
Okay. So do something.